Good afternoon. Campbell McCrary from Amvest Capital in New York. Welcome to the Amvest Capital live webinar with Vior Inc. Vior trades on the venture as VIO and on the OTC as SXMVF and as VL51 on the Frankfurt Exchange. Hope you'll enjoy today's program. It will be available in on-demand replay about an hour after we wrap up. Same link will work for the on-demand. Important part of today's presentation, ask a question of management. I'm highlighting that now. You can shoot in a question and we will include it in the Q&A portion of today. And if you like what you're seeing, you can share it live. That link will work both for the live and for the replay. It'll share it to LinkedIn, Twitter, and it'll prepare an email to send to your colleague. Just note it can work live and replay. Amvest, of course, is a New York-based specialist investment management and corporate finance firm focused solely on the natural resource sector. This call is most definitely this webinar for informational purposes only. We have with us today Mark Vidosowicz, the President and CEO, and Executive President Laurent Eustache. So welcome to the show, our inaugural show. Please take your time, present, and then we'll open it up to Q&A and wrap up around the hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Campbell, and good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for taking the time to attend and listen to Vior's corporate webinar. Laurent and I believe that Vior represents a compelling investment opportunity in the junior resource space, and we look forward today to telling you why. I will caution you, there will be some forward-looking statements in our presentation. Just take a moment here to go through some of the disclaimers. So just to begin with, I'd like to outline Vior's corporate profile. Why Vior Inc.? We believe we've structured a small little Quebec-based junior with strong fundamentals based on value. Our strategy is to explore on multiple high-potential gold projects. Our focus is our flagship Belter Gold project that Laurent and I have consolidated and put together over the past 12 months. In addition to it, we also have upside on 8 other promising gold projects. So you have exposure to a new discovery, which is obviously and arguably the best key driver for value creation in our industry. All our projects are domiciled in safe jurisdictions, either Quebec or Nevada. Expertise, we have a very highly committed management team, strong leadership and track record. We have over 100 plus years experience, and we have skin in the game. Management owns over 16% undiluted equity in the company. Financial and technical support, we have some excellent partners. An example of this would be Osisko Mining, who made a strategic investment in Vior last March at 20 cents a unit. We have an excellent working relationship with them. What attracted them to Vior was our flagship gold project, Belter, as well as 2 other key projects in Quebec. We also have strong sponsorship by some of the Quebec-based institutions, the Quebec Labour Fund, FSTQ, SIDEX, a small Montreal-based money manager, SDBG, and Desjardins, all who are good shareholders of our company. Also, Aluka Resources is a joint venture partner, and Ridgeline Minerals, where we have a strategic investment and an excellent working relationship. Diversification, we explore, and we have the ability to invest in a good private company if we see a good opportunity. A little bit about who we are. Board of directors, 5-member board, nimble, very adaptable, good cross range of experience. Our chairman is also the original founder in 1984. He's had success with some other companies that were built and sold, namely Mazarin Resources and Virginia Gold Mines. My background is in the investment business. However, I've been investing in the junior resource space for the past 35 years, developed a strong network in all across Canada and in Europe. Eric Desaulniers, he's CEO and founder of a Quebec-based junior called Nouveau Monde Graphite. He's brought this company from a 15 million market cap company over the past 5 years to over $500 million. The next gentleman, Charles-Olivier Tart, he's the CFO of Nouveau Monde Graphite. And with me today, Laurent Eustache, who came on board late 2020, and who's been working with me side by side to build up our flagship Belle Terre Gold project and execute on our current strategy. His background is as an economic geologist, having worked for Agnico Gold Mines and Horizon Gold Mines, and also as an analyst and portfolio manager at Montreal-based Sidex. Management team, 3-member management team, and technical team. I do want to highlight we've got two 20-plus year tenured field geos who have a lot of experience and have worked for some larger companies in the past. Some excellent technical advisors and consultants on board as well that we use as required. By the numbers, working capital about $3.2 million as of December 31st. In addition to that, our investment in public companies, which is largely a publicly traded Nevada-based company called Ridgeline Minerals, about $1.5 million on our balance sheet. Shares outstanding, our market cap is around 15 to 16 million Canadian, and major shareholders include Osisko Mining, management, Quebec institutions that I just highlighted, and close strategic holders. That would be about 15 high net worth family offices, where we know where the paper is, about 30%. A little bit about Vior's asset allocation and diversification strategy. First of all, I want to highlight our project generation criteria. First of all, we're in mining-friendly jurisdictions in North America, close proximity to an existing mine or a former producing mine or an advanced stage project, good infrastructure with easy accessibility, and the potential to advance quickly to a more advanced stage via the drill bit. Discipline and focus, as all of you are aware, as a small little junior, we're contained in terms of our capital and human resources. This year, we've decided to allocate the bulk of our commitment to our flagship Belle Terre Gold project. Laurent will go into sort of highlighting what we've been able to accomplish over the last 8 to 10 months and what we're doing right now. We've just embarked on a new drill campaign as of yesterday. He'll go through the details on that with you. In addition, our diversification, I do want to highlight, in addition to our Belle Terre project, we do have several other excellent gold projects, various stages from greenfield to a little bit more advanced. We are seeking some strategic partners on a couple of those right now that are almost drill ready, and we hope to build some shareholder value in the coming year via some good investments in these projects. And lastly, I do want to highlight we do have an investment in Ridgeline Minerals, where we own a 6.5% equity interest. This is a mid to long-term strategy that gives us exposure to 5 other gold silver projects in Nevada and Idaho. A little bit about the Belle Terre flagship high-grade gold project, high potential gold project. We're using a systematic exploration process. We've consolidated a large high-scale, district-scale gold project that's never been consolidated in the past 60 years. And we believe that we have an opportunity to find multiple deposits here. Lower risk exploration opportunity. And lastly, it's a proven value creation strategy. Recent examples would be Osisko Mining with their Canadian Malartic project. This was a small, high-grade former producer decades ago. They consolidate a similar scale land package, and lo and behold, this is developed into a 10 million plus resource, and they've just discovered a new high-grade section there. Other examples would be Detour Gold with Detour Mine and Integra with Lamaque. So we're adopting a systematic process here. We consolidated the land package early last year. We defined significant gold results at surface last summer. Right now, we're identifying structural mineralized traps, and we're vectorizing on really good drill targets that Laurent will go through with you. So our objective is to show the market through this next drill campaign some really good results, such that we can move ahead and show that there's economic mineralization there, and we can develop a good resource. So just a little bit about the Belle-Terre project. Unique location. It's situated in the heart of the Quebec mining district, just south of Rouyn-Noranda and Val-d'Or. There's easy access and infrastructure nearby. It's a high-grade gold potential. It's a proven mining belt. We've also acquired the 100% option to acquire the former past-producing Belle-Terre gold mine that produced a little less than 1 million ounces of gold, but at a very high grade at 10.7 grams per ton. We also know that there's 20 known high-grade gold veins. So this is a very big vein system where we think there's a lot of untapped potential. We have scale, unique size. We consolidated a 37-kilometer long favorable strike. It's a 300-kilometer square land package. This was all done through about 10 acquisition, option, and JV agreements that Laurent and I completed up until last August. So we have a unique potential and opportunity here, multi-deposit potential. There's been only shallow drilling to date. Like I said, this land package has never been consolidated in the past 60 years, and we're using a systematic approach using modern exploration techniques. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Laurent here, who's going to delve into the Belle-Terre project, show you why we're excited, why we think we have an excellent potential here to develop shareholder value in the coming year.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mark. And hi, everyone. So a little bit of why we're so excited with our Belle-Terre gold project. So as Mark alluded to, we have been attracted at Belle-Terre for various reasons. First of all, its location in the heart of the mining industry in Quebec, providing some competitive advantages. Low cost of exploration. We've got, for the first drilling campaign, $160 per meter, all included, which is, in the low range of the drilling cost these days, allowing us to do more with less, basically. Lower stakes of economical potential as well. We don't need to find a 3 million ounces standalone project to get the interest of a producer, given the location, and a year-round access with excellent infrastructures and close to the qualified workforce in Quebec. So a part of that great location, we've been even more attracted by the geology with the high-grade component and the large footprint of the historic mining camp of up to 12-kilometer strike, suggesting to us that the existence of an important metallogenic system underneath the high-grade mineralization at surface. So we saw an opportunity which was exactly corresponding in all point to our corporate project generation criteria, and we decided to move forward, consolidate the property that you see now on the slide, 300 square kilometers, 37 kilometer strikes of favorable geology, and that comprised 2 greenfield area up north and down south, and the Belle-Terre historic mining camp being consolidated under a same entity for the first time. So the rationale behind, like Mark alluded to as well, the consolidation the idea is to execute on a similar approach of what Osisko or Integra and some other groups successfully did in the past in the Abitibi, which is finding a new mine in an old high-grade mining camp by taking advantage of modern and systematic exploration strategies, project scale, and modern techniques, which is basically deeper drilling and 3D modeling. So a little bit on the geological context, demonstrating that even not located on a major renowned deformation zone, a small greenstone belt had the potential for major world-class deposits. And for example, the Bonington mine in Australia, in the Yilgarn Craton, was discovered in the 18th in an area that was for a long time underexplored and disregarded by the explorers. So by comparison, it's too early to know and reveal the full potential of Belter. But given its location in the heart of the mining industry in Quebec, just replacing what has been produced in the past, which is about 750,000 ounces of gold, will be of interest for a producer and will reward greatly our shareholders. So that's the reason we think that Belter provides an advantageous risk-reward opportunity for our shareholders. So here is a simplified step-by-step district-scale strategy approach that we executed these last 14 to 15 months, which start with the land package consolidation, completion of a high-resolution map survey, which provides tremendous information about the structure associated with gold. We've completed 2 months of prospection and field validation in various areas of the property, including 1,300 samples collected, compilation and 3D modeling with the help of a well-renowned structural geologist, namely Ken Williamson. And as you can see, that approach, we've been able to discriminate quickly the main geological domains and structure of the belt, leading to a global understanding of the geological continuities of the mineralized zones, particularly on the historic mine trend, comprising the Belter mine and the Obel deposit, on which we've recently completed phase 1, 4,000 meters drilling campaign, and we just announced beginning phase 2 with another 4,000 meters this morning. I will get back in a minute in more detail on these drilling. So here is the brownfield area of the property, about 12 kilometers from bottom left to top right corners of the map, with your 2021 best values at surface and some picture of the samples. So as you can see here, 274.9 gram per ton, 21.3 gram per ton, 175 gram per ton of gold, as well as some pretty high-grade silver component, 394 gram per ton to the southwest of the brownfield. So as you can see, the 2021 prospection campaign was concentrated to the northeast, where we have identified prospective gold targets associated with major gold structures. So we have the historic mine trend here, highlighted here, and its extension to the northwest potential, where we will test some targets. Some folded area to the west associated with gold at surface that we have to test as well. A large shear zone to the southwest, underexplored with a silver component and some high-grade mineralization associated with gold, and a major magnetic break southwest, where we see an unconformity between the volcano sedimentary associated with high-grade gold mineralization and a ultramafic underexplored area. So these are good traps they've never been tested in the past. So lots of potential on the whole brownfield area of the project. So as you can, there is no shortage of targets and drilling potential on the brownfield area of the project. So as I said, we recently completed phase 1 drilling campaign with the first 4,000 meters on 5 holes on the historic mine trend that I mentioned earlier, which is a continuous structure extending laterally on up to 5.5 kilometers. You can see on the long view in gold the interpreted projection of the known mineralized zones along the historic mine trend. From west to east, the Conaway, Obel, Paquin zone, and the past-producing Belter mine. In blue, you see the historic drilling that is really shallow holes, investigating not much below 200 and 250 meters, which is just surface in today's standard. In orange, you have the drill holes trace of phase 1 drilling campaign. designed to better understand the general structural framework of the historic mine trend, targeting large step out from the known mineralized zones. The 5 holes are expected, the result of the 5 holes is expected in Q1 2022. All core has been logged and sampled. So we have recognized geology, various type of lithology and structures on which we will get results to vectorize next phases. So finally in red is the location of phase 2 drill holes started this morning and aims at the identification at depths and along strike some underexplored structures in the surrounding of the old mine. So next slide will show a close-up of that area where we see some great potential and where our 3D modeling, structural modeling approach recently completed becomes really strategic. So here is the structural interpretation of the down deep projection of 12 West mineralized system with evidence of historical high-grade gold intercept structures and where we see good potential for lateral continuity on the trend on about 500 meters here with pretty some decent high-grade evidence of high-grade gold mineralization. So basically, to wrap up quickly on the opportunity at Belterre, we've consolidated the project out of 10 acquisition and option agreements, creating cohesive land package consisting of 551 claims covering 300 square kilometers, really large land package. We've validated significant gold result at surface, up to 274.5 gram per ton of gold, numerous underexplored lithogeochemistry anomalies and structures. We will be active next summer campaign on the other half of the brownfield, where we've recently completed an option agreement with Osisko on the other part of the brownfield area, and we will get some result on the till survey that we've completed as well up north and down south on the 2 greenfield area. We've got numerous geological drill targets in the brownfield area identified. We've completed the first phase of drilling. We are waiting for results, and we expect to publish end of Q1 the results. Phase 2 is just starting today, and we will continue to be active in the coming months and on the project in prospection and drilling. The objective is to identify and vectorize some economic mineralization. A quick overview on the project that we have on the portfolio in Quebec. 3 really good district scale gold projects located next to high potential project, the Ligneris project in the La Flamme volcanic corridor, next to Normetal and Amex delineating high-grade mineralization at Perron, and Skyfall and Mosso in the urban Barrick corridor, where Osisko Mining and Bonterra are delineating world-class gold deposits, high-grade world-class gold deposits. So on that final note, I will pass on the mic to Mark. Mark, you're muted.
Sorry, just to summarize the investment opportunity for everyone here, solid foundation in the company with excellent discovery potential. It's a solid, proven strategy. I think Osisko Mining has validated what we put together at Belterre and the potential for our flagship Belterre project, as well as some of our other projects. And we're going to have some continuous news flow, as Laurent alluded to. I think I'm just going to wrap up. I think given our market capitalization, the promise and the quality of the project we put together, I think it's an excellent risk-reward opportunity for investors in the junior resource space. So I'm just going to open it up to questions and answers. I think we've gone on a little bit too long, and we welcome any further questions that anyone may have. You can contact us personally.
Sure. Excellent. Thank you. Again, you can just send in questions. There's a ask a question of management. Very simple. 300-kilometer square kilometer land package. What portion has been preliminarily explored?
Yeah, I will show that part here. Sorry. So the brownfield area, which is the old mining camp, basically, is located. It's about a 12-kilometer long historical brownfield area. So that's where we've got most of the exploration in the past. But the whole belt is really prospective when you look at the footprint of the greenstone belt. I mean, we have 37 kilometers of potential continuity of the prospective geology.
Any royalties attached to the project?
Yes, there's some small royalties here and there. There's no royalty on the actual mine concessions. That's really important to note. We have an option to purchase 100%, the bulk of the payment, very reasonable terms. It's mostly back-ended, but there's 0% royalty there. There are some small royalties on the Osisko options, on the JAG options, and some of the greenfield areas that we were able to consolidate. They're typically in the 1% to 2% category.
Do you have a campsite at Belterre?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
I'll let you answer that, Laurent. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a camp. Basically, we rent an old garage where we have room for the workers and the core shack. So we're downtown Belterre, right downtown the property.
We understand there are historic drill holes at Belterre. Where is the drill data located? Is there something one can review on the company website? Good question.
Yeah, good question. We there is lots of workings done in the past, especially in the close to the mining concessions and the historic mine trend, but most of the drilling done was really shallow drilling, like you can see on the long view here in blue. So what we're targeting is the lateral extension, and the depth extension of these known zones. For the data, I mean, we're building basically the model, and everything is put together. We do not disclose that information yet, but this is data that we could provide eventually.
There are questions or comments between going from phase 1 drilling to phase 2 drilling to phase 1. What's your best hole? What is that telling you? And then what went into the decision to where you went with phase 2 drilling, and just sort of confidence. And looks like there's still more phase 1 that needs to be released. So tell us the relationship between 1 and 2.
So the purpose of phase 1 was to better understand the structural framework of that historic mine trend. So as you can see in orange here, we have the location, pretty deep holes, not that deep, but it's particularly deep to what we know on the historical workings. And the idea was to really understand the continuities of these structures and see if there is some potential at depths. So we've recognized some structures and some lithologies. Our 3D modeling is working. We've been able to adjust some part of that, but it's pretty well working, and we'll be able to vectorize for the next phases. The phase 2 is not related to the phase 1. Phase 2 is more in the surrounding of the past mine. We decided to wait a little bit before doing these drill holes around the historic mine, because there was more data to compile before being certain that we test the right things. So now we're more confident, and that's the reason we decided to initiate that second phase.
What is sampling, and how big of an exploration program will you have for this 2022 summer exploration focus from the Osisko agreement?
So basically what we'd like to achieve there is to have the same type of detailed geology information to the southwest of basically in the green bubble here, which is mainly the location of that land that we've got from an agreement with Osisko Mining. So it will be one of our focus to validate historical workings and extending gold showings to develop a good relationship and good understanding between structures, alteration, and mineralization, on which we will be able to generate some pretty high potential drill target for next fall in that area.
Excellent. I'm going to pass this over to Artie to ask some more technical questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Can you guys please expand on the historic operation, please? What depth the mine goes and how much was the production? Why they stopped mining those high grades?
Yeah. So there are good questions. We have some answers. We have some guess answers as well, because it's an old mine that has been in production between the 30s and the 60s. So you see here the footprint of the old mine here. So it's about 800 meters long mineralization, continuous mineralization to laterally, and going down to about 700 meters at depth. They were basically at the time following the veins. They were not delineating resource. They were following the veins as the vein is there. And when the vein stopped, they stopped basically producing. So that was the old ways of doing mining. And what we understand, they stopped basically when the vein stopped. But there's no real exploration done around the old mine. So that's the reason we thought, okay, maybe that's a real opportunity there to eventually find some shallow zones that was not known at the time, because there was no systematic drilling exploration done on the property.
Got it. Thank you. Correct me if I'm mistaken. I think you mentioned 12-kilometer kind of strike length. I'm curious if this 5.5 is included in that, and how did you define that as strike? You did some samples from surface?
Yeah, so the 5.5 kilometers trend is really the historic mine trend, which is highlighted here. And we see another 5.5 with the 3D modeling that we did, and the general, high level and scale interpretation of the whole geology that we did on the belt suggests that we may have a continuity of that horizon to the northwest on a fold of the horizon here, and which has not been really tested in the past. So that's another 5.5 kilometers of potential continuities of that trend. But the real historical brownfield area is I will highlight it here, is really all that part here. And basically what you're looking at on that close-up is here. But the whole historical camp is that, and that's about 12 kilometers. Okay, and that's part of the Osisko agreement that we've got. So that's the reason we do not have much detail at the moment. We'd like to validate on the field the past gold showings and everything before releasing information on that part of the belt.
When we look at this part, and when we look at the information you have on hand, is it early to comment on the controls of higher grade mineralization, or can you make some comments to us?
So what we, yeah, it's a good question, and we are still lots of things to discover. And for example, I would like to highlight that particular fault here, which is a fault that was not known in the past and never been retested. And as you can see, and maybe we see it better on the next slide, it's that particular deformation zone here, which is a real unconformity between the volcano-sedimentary sequence, where we see some, gold showings, continuous gold showing along the trend, which are just stopping, cross-cutted by that major break here, where we have some ultramafic in that area, and the volcano-sedimentary sequence here. So these are perfect traps for gold mineralization, and it's never been tested in the past. So these are new stuffs where we see some good geological and mineralization continuities and good potential traps. So it's difficult to say which are the best structures that will control the gold mineralization over the whole brownfield area. But what we know is that we have a good control of the geology on the historic mine trend, and that's the reason we decided to learn from that historical mine trend here and apply what we understand here to the whole brownfield area. So that's where we are at the moment. There's still a lot of things to learn from the geology, and the drilling that we're doing at the moment will provide lots of insight on the potential for the rest of the other structures.
Are you gonna drill these areas that you just pointed out? You mentioned these faults never been tested before.
We've got some targets. We have no shortage of drilling on that property. It's a really beautiful large land package with some really decent high-grade gold mineralization at surface. So basically, what we'd like to do is to be really strategic, control the targets that we have with a good amount of confidence in the geology, and move forward with the various area when we're ready to move forward. So that's the reason basically that's it.
Got it. My last question is, you guys did the max survey, and after that you guys did the sampling. Did you find what you were looking for in those surveys? Any correlation?
Yeah, we've learned a lot from these high resolution max survey. And the first thing was that particular fold here, and the fold of the horizon mine that was not recognized before. We also see some continuities up north on that particular trend, where we see potential area of high prospective area, greenfield area of exploration. So we've learned a lot, and we will continue to do so as we delineate more the geology, because we always, by iteration, go back on these indirect information on which we could really better interpret the continuity of the geology. So it's a really good base for the exploration in gold, particularly.
Thank you. I'm passing back to Campbell.
Sure. I have a bunch of questions that have been sent in, and then we'll move to close. You've covered some of them partially, but there are specific questions. Potential to connect the Belterre and the other zones, and is that what phase 2 is intended? So the other zones meaning Conway, Aubel, and Paquin.
Yeah. So we see a geological continuity with the 3D model that we've been able to put together to really connect these structures together on a trend. But the trend is pretty wide as well. It's about 1 kilometers wide trend, where we have various mineralized zones already recognized at surface. So that's the reason we completed that first phase one drilling campaign to better understand the framework of that trend. And these are, I mean, we're still digesting these new information. We're still waiting for the results, and that will provide insightful information to be able to answer the question in the coming weeks.
Let's talk about nickel in the Belterra Greenstone and area. What do you say?
Yeah, there's a nickel component. We do not mention it because it's more a gold story there. There's a nickel component. We see some ultramafic horizon on the whole belt, so it's favorable for nickel as well. We have the eyes on, every type of deposits, but the focus and the purpose of presenting was to better highlight the potential of gold that we see at the moment.
Very good. Can you talk about a little bit about the history of the Belterra area on Gold Belt, let's say last 40 years? Who's been
Mark,
there?
do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take that.
A little bit of corporate history.
Yeah, it's been through a number of small-scale junior explorers, piecemeal exploration, not necessarily focusing on the right things. The historical mine was owned by a small little Vancouver junior 10 or 15 years ago, but I think they were trying to build some infrastructure for some small-scale mining, some of the old tailings, which really is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the engine of this former high-grade mine. We're looking for a much bigger fish. So, I think it was piecemeal here and there through various bull markets. We're taking a large-scale systematic approach here. We believe that what we've assembled has a potential for multiple deposits. We think there's at least another Belterra gold mine sitting somewhere around the mine horizon.
Is this an area that can be drilled year-round? And if so, is there room after phase 2 drilling to do more drilling, augmenting phase 1 and 2? What would phase 3 cost for,
Yeah, I'll answer that. There's one of the beauties of Belterra. It's accessible year-round. We can explore and we can drill year-round. As Laurent mentioned, our cost per meter is very low. Our first drill campaign, we came in all in at about $160 Canadian a meter. We're expecting this second phase maybe to be slightly higher. There's a little bit of cost inflation, but I think we're going to come in sort of in the 175 per meter. We may come in lower. We are, in terms of a phase 3, listen, we have no shortage of drill targets based on our initial 3D modeling. In a perfect world, we'd like to drill 15 to 20,000 meters this year. This scale of project with the targets deserves at least that for probably the next couple of years. So yes, the game plan, we hope to have some success here. Particularly, we're really excited on this phase 2 because of where most of the holes are targeting. We know there's gold there. We're just hoping for a little success with the drill bit. And with that success, if we can garner a couple good hole results, perhaps with a bull market, get our stock price up and finance at better levels, we can attack this thing head on in the second half of the year.
How many fresh drill holes and how many more meters do you need to produce to show before where you want to you'd have a 43 updated 43101?
Yeah, a 43101 resource, if it's for a resource estimate. Yeah, we're not looking for one at this point in time. What we want to do is identify some good economic mineralization in these drill campaigns to show that there's there are new structures of mineral and new mineralized zones, and the potential for another, good-sized deposit or several deposits. You want to add anything on that, Laurent?
Yeah, I mean, that's the strategy, and it's difficult to time and to know clearly what's the amount. I mean, there's a part of a chance in that process as well. We are strategic. We try to be really systematic and control what we're doing to be sure that we're not missing anything when we are targeting some drillings. And I mean, we will execute systematically. And that particular type of project, I mean, there was no systematic exploration done in the past, and that's a real strategy that has been proven with various groups being successful to find other deposits next to high-grade gold, past high-grade gold mineralization. So we're pretty confident that executing systematically will be successful at one point. It's difficult to say when, but we try to put all the chances in the right size, in the right site.
Very good. As we move to close, capital structure again, insider ownership, cornerstone shareholders, warrants outstanding, cash position.
Yep. Do you want me to go over that again, Campbell? Is that
Yes.
what you're looking for?
Yes, exactly. So as we took a deep
so
dive,
these numbers
we'll
are
pull back and see what we have. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, by the numbers, these numbers were just published actually a few days ago. So working capital of 3.2 million, investments in public companies, 1.5. We don't treat that as part of our working capital. We do have warrants outstanding at 15 cents due the end of July. Some are being exercised as we speak. Some with some good long-term shareholders to prop up our working capital position. We also have the other series of warrants are largely at 30 cents, and those emanated from a financing last year. So we're fully capitalized for this phase of drill program that we just initiated today. We do have additional funds to complete our summer field exploration program, but clearly, if we want to, conduct another 10 or 15,000 meters of drilling in the next 12 months, we will have to go to the market. We're pretty confident that we're going to see some reasonable results, particularly on this next phase of drilling that we just initiated. We're in some known mineralized areas.
Excellent. Now that we move to close, if we could step back again, if you could re-summarize catalysts, 6, 12, 18 months, why we should be paying attention now to Viewer. A lot of good ideas out there. So what puts you at the top of the pack?
Yeah, so, to answer that, we're a 15, 16 million Canadian market cap company with an enterprise value of 10 or 11 million dollars. I think this project that we've put together, our flagship anyways, is worth probably double that in a reasonable market. And with some good results, we could quickly move up, if we hit a couple good holes, I'm just hypothesizing here of 10 meters at the old average grade of 10.7 grams in a new zones. We have a game changer here. Depending on the market and how they react, we could quickly go to a multiple of where we are, and then we'd build upon that obviously through the drill bit. So Catalyst will be the drill bit, new discovery, new mineralized structures that we hope to show the market perhaps in the next 3 to 4 months.
Excellent, exciting, and really haven't done much marketing, at least in the United States. So one of the first times.
From a risk-reward point of view, Campbell, I think we are a good risk-reward. We've been prudent with our treasury, prudent in how we're attacking Belterre in a systematic way. We're not going to deplete our treasury entirely here on one campaign, but we think we've identified some really excellent targets here. We have a district-scale gold project that deserves a lot more than these two small campaigns. I think we're going to show the market that we will attack this project head on at some point in the second half of the year.
Very good. Thank you. And in closing, you can always reach me, but how can we reach Vior? Who's the best point of contact?
Yeah, well, either of us are available on our website. Our direct numbers are there. Our emails are there. If anybody has any further questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Email either Laurent or myself, or give us a call. We'd be happy to continue the dialogue here and share with you what we're doing.
Excellent. Thank you. Great to have you today.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.